The sweet island vibes are not stopping there because we got another interview. Without further aplomb, it's Dom Palombi.
Hello.
Dom, thank you so much for joining us on the Warp Stage. Yeah, feel free to applaud.
Hey.
That's the way we prove we have a live studio audience.
He's not wrong.
So welcome back to VGM Con. What year is this for you?
I think this is my third year, actually.
What was your first year?
2022.
2022, just coming out of the unspeakable times.
I guess, yeah, it was an interesting time going back then. I mean, that was the first time I got to go to VGM Con, but I also, game night, got to perform there. That was actually our second show ever. Nice. So that was new territory for the band, because the band was just like kind of getting started around then. But I love VGM Con ever since we first got to be here. I just love how chill it is, how intimate, but also just really great vibes. Great people too.
We're getting a lot of that kind of vibe, like the approachability is what a lot of people are saying about this con, which I could definitely see.
Yeah, I think also too, it's just the community is so well niched, especially with like everybody gets to know everybody at a certain point in time. And, you know, we're all trying to support each other. There's no bad vibes, there's no egos and that sort of thing. We're all just here to make some cool music.
I feel it's that Midwest vibe. The fact that it's in Minneapolis definitely helps.
That's true.
Speaking as somebody who's from Canada, just north of the border, I won't put him on blast. One of the organizers is like, we're pretty much basically Canadian, right? And I'm like, sure, if you want to be, yeah.
Hey, I mean, whatever works, right?
Whatever works for you. So you were here last year with game night as well.
Yep.
What are you doing this year?
So game night's not here, unfortunately. Respectively, I understand, but I'm happy to still be here. I actually supported Charles Ritz. He was doing a really cool set with a lot of members from Split Screen, and I got the call to play drums with Charles, so that was fun. Honestly, I'm always down to support other friends in the VGM community. Playing drums is the thing I got into, music in the first place, so it's like I'd be more than happy to do that. But I actually hosted my own panel called The Ins and Outs of a VGM Band Leader.
That's right.
Because I've been doing my own project for a while, and in this community, there's a lot of us that are trying to do our own thing. So I had the idea back in MagFest of why not I host a panel with a lot of esteemed band leaders that have been in the scene for a long time, and talk about the nitty-gritty things of what it's like to get a project going from ground zero to somewhere, or to get working paying gigs, to doing the thing real time. So
that's such a useful skill set that you are sharing with the world for people who just, not even just for music, for anybody doing anything creative.
Yeah, or it just in a real aspect of just reality, because most of the work that we do in a creative thing always revolves around knowing people, but also revolves around just honestly being a good person.
That helps a lot, right? Just being easy to work with.
It helps you to be good at what you do, but at the same time, if you're only good at what you do, that only gets you so far.
I was talking with Josh of Bonus Stage. Shout out to Josh right over there. On the 8-hour drive over, Neil Gaiman had some great advice once, saying, if you're a freelancer, you only need to do 3 things. You need to do good work, you need to do it on time, and you need to be a good person. And you only need to do 2 of 3 of those things to be successsul.
If you can do 3 of those, 3 of 3, then that's even better.
But if you do good work and you do it on time, you can be an asshole if you want.
Debatable.
Debatable, yeah, very much so. Did the panel go well?
It went great. I had a lot of great guests. So joining me was Tony Dickinson of Tiberian Sons.
Wonderful.
Robbie Benson of the Soul Bros. Eric Laddish of Split Screen, and Chris Williams and the Red Line Arsenal. And the beauty I brought all of them in is because all 5 of us have been band leading for different amounts of time. And, Robbie and the Soul Bros have been in the scene for aeons.
Yeah.
Tony Dickinson and Tiberian Sons have been in the scene for a long time as well. I feel like for me, I've been in the scene for, almost 6 or 7 years at this point. But game night specifically, from a band leading perspective, I've only had the band now for like 2 to 3 years roughly. So I feel like we're really starting to get our feet wet and really starting to push the avenues of the VGM scene as a whole. And then Split Screen, they're just debuting their show here at VGM Con.
Brand new.
Yeah, Chris Williams, he was doing a lot of big band stuff in New York City, and I've had the pleasure to play in his band a number of times. So we got into some really nitty-gritty stuff of just like good experiences, bad experiences, lessons, takeaways from those experiences too. there's a lot of stuff that we as band leaders learn by doing that, I feel like just doesn't really get talked about enough.
Hands-on experience that, and oftentimes, people want to start a band. Nobody wants to put the legwork into making it happen.
It is very easy to be a sideman.
Yes.
You show up, get paid, do the work, and that's it. Versus the band leader, I like to say band leading is 90% logistics, 10% music. Because most people see the finished product and think that is the 100%. No, there's like so much more work that requires to put on a big, massive show. My game night band performed on the main stage at MagFest this recent January.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep.
It was something I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. That was 6 months of planning alone.
Yeah.
And to get, a 10-piece band, a largest configuration of my band that I've had before, plus 6 to 8 guests, just for 1 hour of time was an incredible amount of work. But I have no regrets of it at all because of just how much it went well. It went beyond my expectations for that matter too. But that was what the panel was all about, was like, what was that, planning periods of time? What did it take to make a big show happen like that?
I really hope you do that panel again, because I feel like even with the hour that you had here, you probably have a lot more that you could talk about.
Yeah, I think
and experiences from other folks as well, not just the folks on that particular panel.
Yeah, and I think the fun part will be like change up the panelists and bring on other people that have also had different experiences, and it's an ongoing conversation that I think is worth starting. So I'm happy to at least get it kick-started here.
So you've talked. Oh no, I've been tag team. Never mind. Bye.
Well, good luck. Good. Hello.
Hi, Dom.
Hey.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how'd you get here?
I tagged in.
You surfed in.
Yeah.
Surf in. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you were talking about putting 6 months of work into preparing your set for MagFest.
Yep.
And I also know that you recently played for the Devils. Like that sounds so far outside the realm of VGM as we know it. How the heck did that happen?
So I first off made a whole YouTube video of a gig vlog of us playing at a Devils game. How it ended up happening was about, I think last year in like October and November, the Devils posted their season for the game and that sort of thing. My dad sees it, and there happens to be a few games at home in New Jersey that were themes. One of the themes was video games, funny enough. Also, coincidentally, I've had a colleague, a good friend of mine, that's a great opera singer singing the national anthem at the Devils games for a good period of time, who was also a fan of my game night band. So my dad was like, why don't you ask your friend if the Devils be interested in having a video game band for their video game day? Because, why not, right? And my friend was like, this is genius. I'll start up and set up an email with the friends that I know at the Devils. We start talking. Eventually, a couple months go by, and they said yes. It was literally just a ASK-GET kind of situation. And then the gig essentially was happening was we play for an hour in a concourse area before the game started, and then we played during 2 intermission periods that were 15 minutes long. And, we were playing to, probably 15,000 people that attend the game, and a good small percentage of that was people that, wanted to just maybe they never heard video game music live before, but I'm glad we had the ability to expose a lot of people to this music and the scene and, connect a few dots. I mean, heck, this gig was not on my bingo card for this year.
No, but that is definitely like a huge stake in the ground for the VGM community.
Between playing at MagFest, also PAX East, which has been on my bucket list to do for a long time, the Devils game was just like, oh, here's this one too. And I'm like, wow, okay, cool. I love it.
You put in the work, and then all of a sudden, all the opportunities get handed to you, man. That's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 months, in all honesty. But yeah, the Devils gig was fun. Check out the YouTube vlog. I go into way more detail on that because that is just like from the start of the day to the end of like what happens through the whole thing. It was really cool.
Yeah, and speaking of Don Palombi's game night, you also have hosted an open jam night. Is that still operating?
Open jam night. I mean,
maybe not an open jam night, but
my band plays at a really cool venue called OSNYC. I'm a member of the staff for VGM Jam Sessions NYC, which is an organization that has been hosting monthly video game jam sessions in New York City for over the last couple of years. My band has been featured through this organization a number of times. We just played there back in April in celebration of my second album that came out in January, and that sort of thing, which is, it's pretty much, you know, the jam space vibes, but in New York City. And the gaming lounge is great because you get a ticket, you can play PC free play for as long as you want, come and jam, eat, drink. It's a great hang. It's a really, really fun time. But it's always like great to play back there because it's, you know, it's local. It's a fun hang. And everybody's great too. We've been selling out those sessions like almost every month. So it's like, it's also become a great amount of work for a lot of, you know, the local musicians in the New Jersey, New York, Philly scene as well.
Wow. Well, congrats on all your hard work and success. I'm being tagged out. Oh my God.
Tagged out. What's up, dude? Welcome back to me.
Welcome back.
So we've been dancing around it, but yes, your second album for Game Night released in January. Round of applause for that.
Thank
very,
you.
Very good. I don't want to run out of time and not talk about it because it's such a good album.
So the MagFest show was the day, the album release party. And that album is a deeper look inside of things that I grew up with too as a kid, but I also wanted to take advantage of all of the amazing friends that I've made over the years, and that album has 35 total recorded musicians compared to 16. Why is it that big? Just because I wanted to. Why not? You know?
Games bring people together.
Yeah, exactly.
Music and games.
Yeah. So, but that album is a lot more deeper cuts. It's got Yu-Gi-Oh on there. It's got Maple Story. It's still got, I think, Chrono Trigger on there. It's got some really great originals of mine. One of my favorites is 3 Lives Left, a tune that I wrote based off the idea of losing lives. And every life you lose, the music gets faster and increased in intensity. And I took this album as a chance to also capitalize on bringing a lot of new people in that I haven't gotten to work with too.
Yeah.
It's just a whole bunch of fun.
I'm glad you brought up, because there's a couple of things about that. The fact that it is less of the like VGM songbook, and that Yu-Gi-Oh track is something I would have never heard of before.
Yu-Gi-Oh music.
Yeah.
I'm bringing Yu-Gi-Oh music back.
I love that you're pioneering that. But your originals is what I really want to dive into, because I love that you're taking gameplay mechanics and interpreting them into song. Like the song you have about lag. I saw performed here last year.
Off the first album, yeah.
Yeah, it broke my brain.
If anything, I like to think these originals are great aspects that people can connect with real life situations. I mean, we've all had a game night in some way, shape, or form, and it's the game night things were the reason I got into the scene from the get-go. So, you know, I'm trying to take original gaming concepts and putting them in ways to make people realize, like, yeah, you can relate with this whether you play games or not. You know, the idea of the 3 lives left, when you get to that one life left, what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to make it? Are you going to not? It kind of gets to a chaotic point to where it's like, can you live through the chaos?
It messes with your mind.
It messes with your brain, and it puts you on edge, and it puts, you know, life in perspective. And for me, that resonates deeply, because I'm like, I want to make sure that everything I do, I put 100%. And, you know, it's like connecting with that kind of deep analysis for me is something that I feel like even pushes, you know, as a composer, as an arranger, you know, even just the way I think about things every day is it's fun, and I love it, because I feel like that really sets game night apart compared to, you know, just playing covers and that sort of thing.
Totally. I fully embrace high concept, funky jazz rock. It's real. For those of you who haven't checked out his originals, check out Dom's originals. They are choice. So we're running a little bit low on time. You have to sign our banana if it's okay with you. Excellent. We'll sign that off camera.
Sounds good.
But what is your favorite feel-good summertime VGM jam for the summertime resort, Sunshine Resort?
Summertime VGM jam?
Yeah. A jam that particularly screams good times outside in the sun.
I mean, KK Break's always a good one.
Hey, we haven't had that one. That's a good one.
It's a good funky jam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that answer. Thank you so much, Dom. Round of applause for Dom Palombi, everybody.
Thank you guys for having me. Thanks so much, y'all.
We have a bit of an update. Josh, can you help me out here with our sinking ships? We're just going to update here on the charity. Yeah, let's get nice and tight here. So can you mark off the ones? I'll list them. And so we got B8. B8 is a sploosh. We got D8, which is a kaboom. We got E8, which is a sploosh. These donations, by the way, are courtesy of somebody named Violas Are Not Real. C8 is C8 is a kaboom! Kaboom! That is a 2-1. Nice. We sunk another ship, guys. H1 is a sploosh. Sploosh. F6 is a kaboom. Oh my god. G7 and G6 are both sploosh. And F1, like the fighter pilot, is also a sploosh. So again, if you want to mark a coordinate on our sinking ship's battleship, sinking ships. This is from Wind Waker. It's an original idea. Make sure you donate to the P Fund Foundation for at least $5. $5 gets you 1 hit on the map. If you hit all of the ships, I will eat a handful of spicy beans here on camera. You heard it first, folks. And we only got 1 ship remaining, and that ship already has a hit. So let's see what we can do, guys. I'm scared. It's close. All right, great. Thank you again, Dom.
Thank you.
Who's up next, Josh?
We've got the Limit Breakers. They were here in person last year, but we've got them here in video format today, and we'll be interviewing Jason from the Limit Breakers after their set. So, yeah, stick around and enjoy the Limit Breakers.